Okay. Well, here we are. Welcome to another epiphany.
I first off, I'm so proud of us for showing up because I think it's the thing, especially on the weekends, and for me on a Sunday, it's like you're clinging on to like the last bit of time off.
Yeah.
But I was like, when I was thinking about it in my head, I'm like, but you've had some downtime, you've gotten the stuff done you need to get done. Like, what are you doing to invest in the next step
Yeah.
today? Type of like talk to myself. And
I
I was like, well,
mean,
nothing unless I show up and
and
I
just
just
show
talk.
up. That's all you have to do.
Hmm.
You just have to
Yeah.
be there, and that's
Yeah.
what I was literally like, I just want to snuggle on the couch with my dog.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, what if we don't start showing up for ourselves for something that we want?
Yeah.
We need
Then
to.
if something doesn't change, nothing's going to change.
Right. So here we are. I'm super jealous. Tell me about you made brownies. I'm so jealous because I stopped at the grocery store and I was just grabbing like some club soda and some things that I needed for
Yeah.
the week. And I really wanted brownies. Really wanted brownies. And then I was
No.
like, well, we got the call and I know I'm not going to feel like making them after that. And I really
Hmm.
want fresh, warm brownies.
Oh,
And
shoot.
then you
See, if we
said,
were in person together,
why can't I be
that
there? Why can't I?
so annoying. Yeah. We got this pack of just like the easy to make brownies, but it was like a cookie brownie mixture. So you
Yeah.
make like the brownie and make the cookies, and then you like dabble like a cookie in the middle of the brownie. And Jay was like, "Oh, if only we had some brownies." He's like, "They've been in there for weeks." And I was like, "You know what? That's a great idea. Like, let me quickly make brownies." And literally, as soon as I started to make them, you were like, "Hey, I'm ready to chat." Yes, they were really good. I just had a little one because I'm in the headspace of getting my stuff together.
Good for you.
So that's going really well because I tell you what, my mind was just complete trash. Like I would say some of last week, but like most of this past week. Not this week because it's Sunday. And it's like I didn't realize it at first, but I was just feeling sick. I wasn't feeling good, and I was like, I just feel so heavy. And what really made me think about it is I was like, why am I so down on myself about my weight right now? Because
Mm-hmm.
I've been heavier and I have felt fine and good and happy. Like, why is like right now, why is this getting to me so bad? And then I started to realize I was like, oh, it doesn't really have anything to do with that. Like, but I just need to like boost myself up more, I guess. Like, and so for me, I was thinking about like, well, what have I done in the past like to get me out of these funks where I'm not really excited about the future? I'm just struggling to go through the motions and get stuff done. And I was like, you know what? I just started to really like have honest conversations with myself, like speak life into myself. And so I started doing that, and honestly, like almost like flipping this a light switch on happened for me, and I just started crying because I felt like so bad that it's like I've just been so caught up in getting what needs to get done that I didn't realize like how I was feeling and just that I needed that. And then it's like literally nothing in my life changed, but everything changed. And it's crazy how like no matter how many times I feel like you hit those moments in life, it's like it's easy to forget like how important that is. Like how like speaking life into yourself, like building yourself up. Because I was like in rough shape, but for no good reason.
Mm-hmm. Christy, my sister, we're in a group chat. Um, she was feeling down on herself earlier this week, and she
Mm.
sent a picture of herself, and it was
Mm.
like, for her it was more like just that weight related because she recently had a baby, and she was
Yeah.
saying that I just want to get back to this. Like, I felt
Mm.
so good at this time. And she, shared a picture of whatever the time period was. And it reminded me, and I was able to share with her, and this helped her. And kind of even just what you're talking about with speaking life into yourself, But I told Christy, I said, think about what was going on in your life when you took that picture, because
Mm.
yes, when you have been a specific weight your whole life, something happens, you have a baby, you gain a lot of weight, it's hard to lose that weight, or you go through a traumatic experience, or you have, for any number of reasons, and you gain weight and you become a different version of who you think that you are, it is
Mm-hmm.
difficult to deal with that,
Yeah.
but for myself, what has helped is I said, Christy, where what else was going on in your life at that time? So
Mm-hmm.
yes, you felt good because of the weight that you were at, but there's so much more involved
Mm-hmm.
in that exact moment. Did you
Mm-hmm.
just get a new outfit? Was the sun shining that day? Had you just completed a project? Had you just done something that you really enjoy doing? Did you just get new good news? Did you just have a conversation with someone that you really care about? There could have been so many more things that were going on that day that make you look back and say, I just want to be back to this. And
Yeah.
so that's something where it's like, as you're speaking life into yourself, because we often forget to do that on a regular, because it's so easy to speak life into other people and put yourself on the back burner and neglect yourself. But at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, when you're not feeling good about yourself and you look back like, oh, I was so much happier in this moment or at this time, think about other things that were going on. It's not
Mm-hmm.
just weight. It could even be that you just got your hair done. It could even be multitude, like several of these other things. And turns out Christy had realized that that day she had just tried on like a new pair of jeans or something. Like, it wasn't a total complete new
Mm-hmm.
outfit, but it was like a new pair of pants that she got, and she felt like it was
Yeah.
$100. And I guess on top of that, she had just like organized her house, which sounds crazy to some people, but some people who enjoy the organization aspect of
Yeah.
things, that is something that she truly enjoys doing. So she felt
Mm-hmm.
she had done something that she enjoyed. She felt accomplished because she had finished that project. She had a new pair of pants on that made her feel like a
Mm-hmm.
million bucks. And although yes, she maybe would have been a different weight than what she currently is, there was a lot of other things that played into
Yeah.
that. And she said, thank you, I'm going to go organize my garage now, because
I
this
love
is
it.
something that is going to help
Yeah.
me. So I'm going
Yeah.
to feed into the things that will help me feel good about
Mm-hmm.
myself, because it's not just your weight, it's not
Yeah.
just those factors, those different things that other people contribute to your life. It's not that you're in a relationship. It's not that you're having the perfect job. It's not that
Mm-hmm.
everything is going smoothly, but there's so
Yeah.
many other things that contribute to you feeling your best, or you being
Yeah.
at a point where you feel good, even if not everything is lining up, even if not everything is good.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to pinpoint and realize that, you know what, it could just be that I invested in myself that day. It could just be that I, you know pumped myself up and did the things that I need to do. And so it's good to remember, and this, I know that, but and so many other people probably do as well. But even when things aren't going the way that you want them to, and even if you're at a dead end, if you're at a part in your life where you're struggling, do something that makes you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And just that little bit is going to help you make it to the next part of the day. It's going to help you
Yeah.
make it to the next day. It's going to give you just that little bit of momentum, that little bit of push that you need to know that, you know, you can wake up the next morning and that everything is going to keep going, you know?
Yeah.
That's a little inspirational splot for you
I
today.
love it.
Problem solving. Do the things that make you happy.
I love it. And I think for me too, it was like I've been taking it, we've been taking out Christmas decorations to decorate because I just wanted to get it done. Time is going by so fast. And I love Christmas so much. And so it's like I want to make sure that I'm
It's my
enjoying
favorite
it.
holiday.
Yeah, it's my favorite holiday. We might be traveling over the holidays to go to Florida. So I was like, okay, that's like less time in December. We'll have to enjoy it. So we're getting the stuff out, right? And I was like laughing because I was like, oh, like I'm so glad that last year when I was putting away Christmas decorations, I was like thinking of my future self who would have to unpack these Christmas decorations because I can always tell the years where I was like not thinking about my future self because it was a mess. Everything's like thrown in there, everything's tangled, like nothing's like put together well. And it got me thinking, like, even just with what I've been like going through personally is it's like, you know what? Like it is so easy to get so focused and honed in on the now and miss out on the excitement for like my future self or my future for what's ahead because it's like so in the now. And so for me, that's really what jump started getting me more motivated with just like eating healthy again and getting more active and like those like micro movements to like move the needle forward in my life was it was just like my future self, she's gonna be so happy that when she has to unpack this, that I thought of her. And it's like the power of putting hope in your future. For me, that was like the thing that came up, like part of like pouring love and life into myself was it's like what has helped me in the past get out of these major funks in life where I just feel stuck. I don't know what to do, or what I've done in the past isn't seemingly working. And I'm like, what is going on? Especially when you feel like you have nothing major in life to
Right.
feel that way, then you're beating yourself up because you're like, why can't you just be grateful? Why can't you just be happy? Like, blah, 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 all of the things. And I was like, you know what? Like, just do it for her. Like, do it for the future version of yourself. Like, it doesn't even have to like be tangible, or you don't even have to necessarily believe that it's possible for you in this moment, right? Like, because sometimes for me, it's like when you're in a really, really dark, hard place, it's hard to even envision like being out of it or that you'll ever be happy again, like all of the things, right?
It's hard to
But it's
even
like,
think about
yeah,
anything. Like it's hard. So you're not even envisioning anything because you're just
no,
like, I
you
can't
just can't
even.
even go there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But to be like, okay, even if it feels delusional, like my future self one day would be like, I'm so glad that you did that. Like even when you couldn't see a way out or see that it was possible to move forward, um, like she is waiting there and that can be my reality and that's the only hope to feel better. So even though I don't have hope that I can feel better in the now, that could be waiting for me.
Yeah.
And so
That's
I've just been like taking that like just it's crazy the power of the mind and just like perspective shifts, how it changes everything with literally nothing has changed.
yeah. And I don't know how to like explain it to someone who is not a believer
Hmm.
in the power of the mind and the power of your words. And it's frustrating because I have someone that is very near and dear to me that I love more than anything in this world. And he's not on board
Hmm.
with understanding that like the words that you speak, the mindset that you choose to have is what will shape your present and your future. And it's sometimes and we've all been there. You know, you can be as dedicated as a believer as you want to be and still have a day where you're just like, nothing is working. Like, this
Yeah.
is it. I just want to wallow in self pity because why can't stuff work out for me? Why does stuff work out for this? You know,
Hmm.
it does happen. You know, I am not perfect in this at all. But it's frustrating to me because, as you said, the power of your mind, the power of your words, and how much that can shift your outlook, your mentality, and really change when you just said it, when nothing changes, it can
Hmm.
change everything. And it can be, and so how do you convince somebody? That's a real good question, because this person refuse, you know, will say the things
Yeah.
that I'm like, dude, you can't talk like that. You can't say that, because if you continue to say that, that's going to become your reality. That's going to become your truth.
Hmm.
And you don't want that. So stop speaking it, because when you
Hmm.
speak it, then your brain believes it. And then that is what you focus on. So, how do we convince people? Maybe not convince them. How do you explain to
Like
somebody?
show people.
How do you explain to somebody, this will change your life
Yeah.
for the better,
Yeah.
and you will be happier? And I don't know, it's almost like exercising for your mind too. It's almost
Yeah.
like those, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. The more you work that muscle, the more you get in the habit of focusing
Hmm.
on speaking the life that you want to live, speaking the situation that you want to be in, believing that. But how do you convince somebody who's not a believer? Do you have any tips? Do you have any tricks?
I actually have geeked out so hard over this because and I'm running out of time, but God, God told me that this year I was supposed to be helping women with personal energy management and how they talk to themselves. And for all of the good reasons that aren't good enough reasons, I haven't. But I have geeked out on researching a lot about what's the science behind the impact of when you talk to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because like biblically we know when you've practiced it, right? But it's like how for me I was like, okay, is there actual like science tied to how you because you know how the Bible talks about as you a man thinks in his heart, so is he, like those type of stuff, right? There is so much out there on actually how you create new neural pathways in your brain when you based off what you're speaking and what you're thinking about yourself. And like there's so much, and I'm working right now on like organizing all the notes and stuff that I've taken
Can't
because
wait. Can't wait
I
to be
have
continued.
I have a thing that I'm gonna roll out probably for free, and I'm calling it the Quiet Rebuild. And it's about like that internal, like how we're talking to ourselves and how to exercise that and how to practice it. And I'm including the science behind it because for me, that was like the main thing where it's like, okay, I have these biblical truths, I have these scientific truths, I have my personal experience. Like, you're not able to talk yourself out of it being able to work in those moments where you're like, this is dumb. And I think for me, like the only time where I've really experienced drastic change of like buying into believing that this will actually like if what I say actually happens is when I hit that like I'm done moment. I feel like a lot of people have to personally hit that I am done moment before they're willing to actually experience change. Because otherwise, either you're stuck in this rut of it's not possible for me, and this excuse of like, yeah, that may work for you, but that doesn't work for me, or that's not possible for me. And you actually believe that, or I think it falls into a belief system of change is scary. And even when it could be positive change, our brains are wired to protect us from pain. And change sends the same signals in our brain as if we're in danger. And so everything within us is trying to protect us. It's like that's why I hate when people talk about self-sabotage and stuff because I don't think we're sabotaging ourselves. Our brains are wired to protect us. So
Yeah.
when something is new, it sends risk signals like we don't know this territory, something bad could happen, right? Like, and so you're literally put in this place of fight or flight mode that if you aren't being intentional to override that and still proceed anyways and still go after change anyways, you constantly are going to fall into old patterns. What you know, it feels like the lesser of both devils, so to speak, because it's like this may be hard, but at least I know what happens
Yeah.
this way because I've
Yeah.
repeated this over and over again, right? Like it may be hard and I may everything in me may feel like I want a change, but the change, like, I don't know. Like this, I at least like know. Sometimes we do it in jobs too, where it's like, do I go take the risk for a new job or not? I hate this job, but at least I know. At least I
Yeah.
know my boss is horrible, what to expect, like whatever, all of the things. And so for me, I think it's like I'm sure it depends on the person. Like maybe if you throw some biblical truths or scientific truths or life
Right.
experience, they'll be inspired to change. But I think a lot of times, just like anything, we don't actually change until we hit our I'm done moment, where
Yeah.
you're like, you know what, I'm so tired of experiencing this shit. Like I want different, and you start either trying different things and checking them off till you find what works, or you pick one and you decide,
It's
okay, I'm gonna
almost
make
like
this
that
work.
same idea with like, somebody could have an unhealthy relationship with food and with eating.
Hmm.
And even though they know that they're not hungry or they know that what they're eating isn't good for them, they continue to because it's a comfort, because you is what you know, and you're not ready to make that hard step to make the changes because it is going to be work. Or the person that has an addiction to alcohol or drugs or
Hmm.
something like that, and it's like you just continue to do the thing because it's just easier.
And it's the version of us that we know. So
Right.
even though it may
You know
be a
what the
very,
outcome's going to be. I'm going to keep
yeah,
doing this. This is what's going to happen. I'm familiar with it. Change is work, and it is not always easy to do something differently. So
yeah, and
sometimes
I
it
think,
is nicer to just
sorry.
do, hey, well, the result might not be what I actually want, but it's something I know. So to your point of, you're protecting yourself because you're at least doing something you know.
Yeah, and when you're really in that place of struggle, you often feel an immense amount of guilt for being where you are in life.
Yeah.
And when someone tells you, hey, if you talk differently, like when someone tells you and shows you, you actually have the power to not have to be here anymore, you're actually potentially piling onto their guilt because they're like, oh, okay, so I don't even have now, I don't only feel guilty to where I am, I have to take on the responsibility of I have the power to change it. And so it's because of me that I am actually here in life, and it's because of me that I actually continue to experience that. That takes a lot,
Yeah.
myself included, to face that radical responsibility for where you are, especially when you've made mistakes. You're not where you want to be in life. You're dealing with hard stuff. So to have to admit to yourself, I have the power to actually change this is a lot.
And all of the tools that I need. I don't need anything else.
Yeah,
I need my words.
to speak differently.
Yeah. Like, I don't need to go out and buy something. I don't need to spend money. I don't need to,
Mm,
no, I just need to start doing something a little bit differently.
yeah. Because it sucks to admit to yourself, like, I have, I am where I am because of me, and I also have the power to do different because of me.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes that doesn't feel empowering, sometimes that feels overwhelming. And I think,
And almost unreal that it's something so simple and so light
Yeah.
that can make such a big change. So it's like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, how's this even going to work? Like, is this even going to work?
Hmm. Yeah.
Can we take a moment to appreciate the fact that you have Christmas decorations in your plants and that I'm so
My
jealous of
palms.
that? I love it. It's so festive.
It's
I'm
my
so proud of you.
favorite thing ever.
I
Like
love it.
these are new plants. And because I was like, we have to have it. I have fake plants because when you travel, my I travel, my plants die. So I was like, okay, I have fake plants because then they stay nice. But
Right.
then it's like, it just feels fake.
Yeah.
Like it's like, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna mix in some real plants with fake plants. These are real ones, but like with the fake plants, so that way like I have a good mix. And at worst case, if some die, like, I'm not like constantly like rebuying plants.
Yeah.
But I have like these, I don't know if you remember last time we were at my house, those big palms that are fake.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, so those have like lights strung through them and like ornaments and all this kind of stuff. And so then when I got these, I was like, oh, I can't really do all that with these. So I could literally only fit like two bulbs.
But I love it.
Two bulbs
I
on
love it that
it. It's like a tropical Grinch tree.
at least went and got my Christmas decorations last night or yesterday.
Okay.
Haven't put any of them up, but I have them.
Yeah.
So
So you
those
have
are
them.
good. I mean, it's just so cold. It's so hard for me to go to the storage unit and do
Yeah.
anything outside because it's freezing. So yesterday was like warm enough, and I said, I'm just going to go do it. So I got them. Now I just have to put them up. So that's the easy part.
Yeah, at least you have them.
Yeah.
That's good. It's exciting. I know you need to come visit because I was barefoot outside today. So when you need a
And
break from
it's
the
still light
cold,
outside. It's pitch black right now here in Pennsylvania. And I
crazy.
see out your window. Oh, looks like
Yeah,
there's sunshine still
still got
happening.
some sunshine. Yeah.
Oh, I do. Can you believe it's been
Yeah.
almost a year since the photo shoot?
No, I can't. And we haven't even used any of those pictures. And I need to, that actually would be something fun for us to do is to go through them before, like, um,
Before
at
we
first I
do
was
our
like,
next photo shoot?
yeah, I do want to do it though, like,
Summer.
maybe in the spring or summer. Yeah.
Like different season is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I think maybe like hopefully we'll have more of our shit together by like maybe like May or something that it might be a
Yeah.
perfect time.
Hopefully. What's crazy is like,
She says with confidence. Yeah, hopefully.
hopefully,
Our track
because
records might say different, but
because I feel like every time it's like you're this close to having it together, this crazy life thing happens.
mhm.
Like every single time. And so it's just crazy because I was talking to God about it the other day. Because I was feeling bad that I don't feel like I've done well with what he instructed me to do this year about like energy management and inner dialogue. And then I had like this moment where I just felt like I need to take it with a grain of salt because maybe it's part of what I wanted to hear. Just like, what if it was all for me? Like,
Yeah,
what if God told me to do that because that was something that he wanted me to help others with, but he told me that because he knew that I wouldn't spend the time for it just for myself
yeah,
because he knows me. And I felt like it was an open-ended thing of like things are still going to happen and grow out of that. But I was like, oh my gosh, like what if it was for me? Like for me to take the time to learn about it, for me because it's what I needed during that time to be reminded of. Like, because it's so easy, like when you go through something really hard, like when I went through divorce, like that was the main thing that really helped me get through was like putting hope in my future, like even when I couldn't see past my current circumstances, like how I was talking to myself, like energy
yeah,
management, like those are the things that at the end of the day, like saw me through that really tough time.
Hmm.
And it's, I wasn't like thinking about that when you have not such major, big, horrible life things happen, how those are still the things that will see you through that really tough time. And so for me, I feel like this past year has been like a connecting of the dots of, yeah, that's just the stuff that you do. Like that's regardless. Like it doesn't matter. Like you may be having a horrible day and you can't pinpoint why. It doesn't make it any less of, yeah, apply those things to this moment versus like the big life moment. And it sounds so stupid when it comes out of my mouth, but it's like the very stuff I help people with. And in my life, it's complete trash. Like because I'm just not paying attention to it. It's
Yeah.
like a plant, if you're not watering it, it's gonna go dry, right? Eventually it's gonna die. Or hopefully you see that it's dying, you're like, oh my gosh, let me take care of this thing, right? Which has been my mind this past week. And so wherever I was going with that, like, oh yeah, the hopefully we have our shit together, like I'm eye rolling because it's just like I'm
That's the beauty of us. We're
like
probably
what?
never gonna have our shit together, but you know what? We're just gonna
But
keep
we're
showing up.
together.
That
Our
is the
shit's
thing.
not together, but we're together.
There you have it.
There you have it. Oh my
But I think
gosh.
that that's what's so funny. Like, it takes, like, in our lives, it takes your world, like, being turned upside down, a really bad situation, or multiple of them happening, that, that's the reason why people will suddenly reconnect with God and
Hmm.
realize that, they need to have a relationship with him and to start praying, and that what the real meaning of life is. Why? Because something really terrible happened, and so it makes
Yeah.
you turn to something. When something really terrible happens, that's when you're like, okay, I'm going to start changing things. I'm going to start talking, the words of life. I'm going to start changing my mindset. I'm going to start. Terrible things happen, you start changing. Terrible things happen, you start rearranging your life. You start diet and exercise and all of the things that you've been putting off.
Hmm.
Suddenly you decide, now's when I'm going to start doing it. And so when things aren't terrible, and when things, I mean, yeah, you probably have some things, but not these like big catastrophic, like life
Yeah.
events. Like you have bad days, but like life is just being. It's just you're busy, you have stuff going on, but like there's nothing
Hmm.
that's like upsetting your life, upsetting the fruit basket, turning it upside down. None of that's happening. The things that, like, you maybe stop going to church as much, you maybe stop going to the gym as much, you maybe stop working on your mind as much, because life
Hmm.
is just happening. It's just,
Yeah.
it's not that bad. And what if, when life wasn't that bad, it was just being life, what if we kept going to church, going to the
Hmm.
gym,
Yeah.
talking ourselves up? What if
Hmm.
we kept doing those things with the same passion and zeal that you have for it,
Hmm.
the same openness and rawness and honestness of it that you have when your life is in the pits? What if you keep doing it when your life isn't in the pits? That's when you
Yeah.
level up. That's
Yeah.
when you go to the next level. That's when
Yeah.
kind of graduate from, okay, I'm going to graduate from the chaos version of trying
Hmm.
to do the right thing to the, okay, life is going good version. And now I'm going to the next, chapter of this. And
Yeah.
how much more do you end up learning then? Because you are consistent with those things that you felt were important when life was catastrophic, and then you stay consistent with it when it's, and we're all a work in progress here. It's not something where, hey, I've attained this level. Hey guys, I made it through the catastrophic life. I've made it through the life on the daily. I'm doing great. No, actually, that's not how it is. I fail
Yeah.
every single day. And I make sure that I do better next time, you know?
Yeah. I feel like that's the ultimate upgrade though, because it's like the difference between something that I do out of survival to get me through versus this is who I've become. This is actually who I am.
Yeah.
You know, and like to your
Yeah.
point, none of us are perfect at it. Like my example of how my mind was trashed last week, and I am like talking to people all the time about like how you talk to yourself, how it changes your life, like you know, all that kind of stuff. And like for me, I was like, oh, okay, but I wasn't doing it, so that's helpful, you know. But it's like, but I think it's like anything, the more you practice it, it doesn't mean like what you're saying. It doesn't mean I've achieved this level, I'm here now, I no longer struggle with this, but the bounce back is so much quicker
Yeah.
every single time. So every single time that I fall into that rut where my self-talk isn't great or I just haven't been pouring life and love into myself, like I may hit rock bottom, but I can get up so much quicker where several year ago version of me would fall down and it would take a ton to try to get myself back.
It's almost like you were, because you were just 7 year ago, you was just learning that stuff for the first time. You
Yeah,
were just,
she
that's
had
what it
no
is.
idea.
So it's
She had
like,
no
I think
idea.
you've talked about this before, even where it's like, it is like working that muscle, like changing your mindset, knowing what to do when things are crazy is working that muscle. So when you already know what to do when you go to the gym, it's a lot easier to just go to the gym and do stuff and not be looking at your app figuring things out. That
Hmm.
is encouraging for when you put in the work, because it does become second nature. It does become,
Muscle memory,
this is
just
my
like
life.
anything else.
This is my life, and oops, I forgot to do the stuff that I know I'm supposed to.
Just
So
thinking it again.
let's get back on track.
It's like when you, it's like the difference between like, oops, I stumbled over that little thing versus like I completely fell on my face in the mud, like, twisted my
Well,
ankle.
it's funnier to watch you fall straight on your face in the
Yeah,
mud, but
yeah.
I'm
To
glad
watch
of
that to do. Yeah.
that's a better blooper. Sounds so mean.
I feel like I feel like whenever we talk, I love how it gets like deep, but then also it's like we hit this moment where like, oh, okay, we need a little breakity break.
Yeah, okay, this is way too
Like this is
serious.
way
I
too.
like your Christmas decorations. I mean,
I like to watch you fall on your face in the mud. Oh my gosh,
I
so
mean, it
funny.
literally, our conversations do go like this. It's just like
I
up and
know.
down.
That's why it's perfect that like thankfully people are just into watching like short clips because
Right,
then we get to clip it. Like some clips could be serious or some clips could just be funny talking, like
right.
whatever. Like, but it's I feel like when you and I talk, we feed off of each other. We're like it always kicks into like a life learning lesson or another
Another
epiphany.
epiphany.
But it's always been that way. Like even think about the girls who were drunk on the porch in the back.
Man,
It,
if only
like
we
we
could
would get so
remember.
deep.
If
I
only
feel
we
like
could
I
remember
maybe
some of
had
that
some good
stuff.
advice.
We probably had some great advice, or at least we thought we did.
I mean, the life experience wasn't at the level it is now, but I feel like it could
I
have
mean,
still
we
been
weren't
solid advice.
children. I mean, not kids. I mean, we were old enough to
We
drink,
were,
mostly,
some of us were,
mostly. But,
but
but if you think about it, I mean, honestly, like someone who is, in their early 20s, I just remember, we're gonna go delve back into a quick deep thing and then
okay,
whatever.
all
But
right.
just really quick, I remember my dad when we were kids talking about some of like the mistakes that he made, some of the things he didn't necessarily go into much detail, but it
Hmm.
was his regrets. Like, I wish I would have done things differently. I wish I would have, listened to my parents and not just kind of, went off and lived this crazy life, because he was looking back and thinking like he had wasted time, or maybe he hadn't done he could have accomplished more,
Hmm.
done things differently. And I remember him saying that to me. And I remember as a kid being like, well, you just want me to listen to you. Like, you're just saying this because you want us to listen to you. And you're saying you wish you
You
would
want
have
to
listened to
control
your
me?
parents.
Yeah.
Right. And I was taking it like that. And I was also kind of like, well, you got to live this like fun life and do all this crazy stuff. Like, I want to do that stuff too. Like, why is it okay that you do it,
Hmm.
but I didn't? And now here we are. Fast forward, and I'm probably the same age that my dad was when he was having this conversation with me. And I'm thinking, man, I really wasted a lot of life. And, we've been through this before. You can't think about that you've wasted life, because
Hmm.
everything that you've lived has brought you to this point. But I say this to, if you are in your early 20s, you can have a jump start on the
Yeah.
stuff that we took years to learn, because we were running from our realities and our truth and the life
Hmm.
that we're supposed to be living. And we were, making whatever decisions we were making. But if you're listening and you're 20 something, go for it. Change your mindset. Do the things, do the hard work, wake up early, like, be motivated to live a better life, because you have time on your side.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you're older and you feel like you've wasted life, you probably have, but also those experiences is what made you who you, and so it's okay. Like, there's no reason that you should be looking back on your life with regret or remorse. And you should look at it from, because I lived this, because of the things that I went through, because I had to live through other people's decisions and choices, which we've talked about can be really frustrating. Because of that, I am the person that I am. And so, yes, I don't wish that someone would have gone through hard things. I
Hmm.
wish that I wouldn't have gone through difficult things. But because of the life that I've lived, because of the choices that I've made, this is who I am.
Yeah.
And take it or leave it. It's what you got.
And there's no finish line. Like, I think that's like the thing
Yeah.
is you think even like those life milestones that you want, and then you hit that point where you have to like level up. Like, maybe this is not going to happen for me, or it clearly isn't happening for me in the way that I had hoped and thought for and like put myself out there for. That realization of there is no finish. Everything that you thought your life would be with that thing is made up. It's
Yeah.
not reality. It's something
Yeah.
that you've pictured, you've fantasized over, right? And if we really believe that God causes all things to work together for our good, if we really believe that He knows us as His, like, inside and out, we are His daughters, like, He's got us, like, He knew. He knew we'd be here where we are now. And that
Yeah.
thing that we wanted, maybe it wasn't actually a good fit. Maybe it wasn't actually where we could glorify Him the most. Maybe we'll end up actually being happier with a life that is different. And that's hard to believe and accept when it's stuff you really, really wanted, and
Mhm.
especially when it still hurts. And I'll talk for myself. But I do believe at my core that He is the Redeemer of all things, and that He does cause everything to work together for my good. And that my best moments are ahead of me. I will be happier than I've ever been. I'll have the hardest belly laughs in my future than what I've ever had in my past. Like, when I believe that, then those things that I've clung on to so tightly, the things that have been so hard to accept and let go of, are no longer things I idolize over. They're things where I'm like, huh, maybe if I release that and I
Mhm.
open myself up to what is and what can be, what he can do, that there is actually so much more than I could ever dream of, imagine, or ask for.
We hold on to that because it's so true. I'm with you. He will give us more. He will give us a life that's even better than we are capable of dreaming, you know? And we've talked about that. The girls in Watkins Glen sitting on the porch or at the lake sitting by a campfire, those girls didn't even have the capacity to dream
Mm.
the things that we have already conquered and overcome in the life that we are currently living. Like our lives right now are even better than what
That I
we
could have dreamt of.
dreamt.
Yeah,
So imagine how much better it's going to get now, especially now that I'm living my life to bring honor and glory to God, like not for myself. I'm not living a life to
yeah.
say, look at me, Julie is amazing. I'm trying to bring glory and honor to God through the things that I do. I'm
Hmm.
trying to point others to Jesus in the way that I live my life, you know? And so, how
Hmm.
much better are things going to be? So, throw those, this is what life is supposed to look like, rule book out the window because God's got something in store for you that's going to just,
Hmm.
you can't even imagine how amazing it is because our brains can't even comprehend all that he wants to do for us.
Yeah. And it's just that like encouragement, that nudge of until you let go,
Mm-hmm.
you'll just continue to have what you have and what you know because your arms are too full. You can't catch what he's trying to throw at you.
Yeah.
And so it's like, again, that radical responsibility piece that could be so hard to do. But when you hit your I'm done moment, it's a breath of fresh air to be like, yep, all I got to do is let go. Let go of the fantasy, let go of what I thought life should be, let go of all of these things that I've tried to protect and hold on to and change and make work, like all of these things. Like if I let go, what God has for me then can fill me. And some of those things might get to come along too. Great. But it's like that full surrender moment of, am I really willing to believe that what he has for me is better? And that if I let go, it will be better instead of just this big void.
Yeah. What works for me that I am still currently working through um is letting go of the fact that I won't have a baby of my own. I'm not able to. And so what you're saying is like, am I willing to let go of the things that I thought that I was going to be able to have? And so I'm still working through that, letting go of
Hmm.
like the vision that I thought that my life would look like or that things would be. And I try to talk myself through it because I still feel like it's hard to let go of something that you want,
Hmm. Yeah.
something that you thought that you could have. It's hard to let that go. So to just, to what we were talking about earlier, our mindset, I sometimes I just have to speak, God, I trust you. I trust that you have allowed me to not be able to be in this situation. And I trust that you will be able to take that desire or that thought or that thing, like I thought this is how my life would look. I trust that you will take that. And I trust that you will fill that with more of you. I trust that you
Hmm.
will show up for me and give me something that is even better than what I imagine motherhood would be like, you know?
Hmm.
So it's just, it's a work, it's easier to say where you can throw out a rule book and and when
It's
it
easy to say when
actually
like you
comes
do
down to
this.
it, that we've already talked, we know to be true, and that is to pray, that is to speak, that is to work on your mindset and to give up. It'll that's all that I have. That's just
Yeah. And I think like also allow yourself to grieve that because
mm-hmm.
I think it's like it's not like when we're in those places like you're describing of like poor like speaking over ourselves, talking ourselves through it. It's like that takes time. It's not like some days you may feel better and then some days you may feel a little shittier or just as worse and like the roller coaster of grief and surrender and letting go. And I think it's like when I think about the times in my life I really had to do that, I just remember like I just was like, God, can this just be over? Can I be over this already? Like, can you just,
You just
it's
take
like
it.
maddening sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like you, I know you could do all things. Like, why am I, like, this is pissing me off now. Like,
Right.
just like,
Why?
just like, make this go. Like, if you care
Do
about
your
me, why are
thing.
you letting me
Just do
hurt?
your thing.
Yeah, just
Work
do your
your
thing. Blah,
own
blah, blah, blah. Like,
wonders.
I want to be over this. I want to be over this. I want to be over this. But and some stuff we won't understand ever, right? And I think that's like the hard part.
Yeah.
Um, but
Relinquishing that control.
the beauty of like the strength that I see in you from like our 20-year-old version selves versus our now selves, like the level of faith, the level of discipline, the level of, you know, it's like it's so easy to get down on ourselves about stuff, but to realize like how far, like you were saying, we've come, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's his glory shining. And it doesn't make it okay. It still sucks. It's like, you know, it's still the process of things, but like it just feels so beautiful, like as your cousin to get to like witness how beautifully vulnerable you're willing to be in this season of life. That takes such courage to do that.
Yeah.
And it just like blows my mind because most people wouldn't. Like that's hard. Like we want to, and we still do it. Like we hide, right? When we're sometimes going through our hardest stuff, and that's fine. We know all the reasons we hide. But like for the times when you choose for it to be fitting to open up and be vulnerable and just real and honest, like it's easy to be like, oh, that's just who I am. Like you always get the roommate, da 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 da. Like, no, that's a choice. You know what I mean? Because you know that there were times and there were seasons and stages in life where you weren't that. You were so good at putting up a front and like a face and like so everyone would feel good and you knew what you were going through behind the scenes. And so it's like, no, that's not just who you are, is who you choose to be. Like that
Yeah.
active stance, which is walking in faith, which is letting God's glory shine. It's like the true representation of this is what it looks like to try to figure it all out with Him. Because that's
Yeah.
all we're doing. And like we have no idea. Like half the stuff we believe could be hogwash. But
We'll be
we're
back with
figuring it
that.
out. We're figuring it out. You're
Yeah.
finding what's working. You're growing. It's like about how like what matters is the heart behind what you're doing. And I just think that's like so beautiful to get to see you in this time choose to stand tall and choose to walk forward and choose to be like, oh, okay, wasn't proud of that day, today's a new day, right? Like, or
Yeah.
today's a new moment. Like, I'm gonna show up tonight and chat with my cousin and whatever, even though I want to curl up with my, right? It's like those micro choices like add up to be like the big shifts in our lives. You also just let me say all of that and you didn't say
I
anything,
didn't even,
which
I'm
is
not even
so
interrupting.
impressive.
I
There wasn't
mean,
even like a uh-huh, uh-huh. You just like, that was really impressive.
I'm working on it. But thank
That was a
you.
lot.
Thank you for your encouragement, but I have to go. On this note, I have to leave. So I'll take all of that encouragement and just bottle it up in my heart for the rest of the week.
Which is good because we're about an hour already.
Yeah, crazy. All right. Love ya.
Okay, I love you. Bye.